Steve Pasalacqua, DS in TDS Antique Gambling Chips. I've been collecting gaming chips and checks since the early 1970s. Over a long period of time, I've had the pleasure to trade, correspond, and deal with many of the true pioneers of the chip and check collecting world. It is my intention to scratch the surface and introduce you to one of the fastest growing collectible hobbies around. As with most hobbies, you can participate at any level, from 5 or 6 pieces in your sock drawer to thousands displayed in cabinets or binders, and even systematically logged into a computer. I would like to highlight some of the people, personal efforts, and publications that have brought this hobby to new heights. Let's start out with the words chips and checks. I would like to use a couple of illustrations from Dale Seymour's book, Antique Gambling Chips. From the late 1800s to the present day, the words have been interchangeable. One old gaming supply catalog might advertise and show illustrations of universal engraved poker checks. This is from a catalog dated 1899. The next catalog, dated 1908, might offer the same item or close to it and call them U.S. poker chips. As you can see, the words chips and checks are basically the same. Most of the people in the gaming industry call them all checks. Most of the general public call them all chips. That's enough about those words. Let's move on to the show in Bellflower, California. On October 21st, 1989, the very first all-casino collectible show was hosted by Jim Munding. The location was at the Bellflower Masonic Hall in Bellflower, California. It was a huge success with more than 200 collectors attending. The main items of interest were chips and checks. They were bought, sold, and traded as if everyone was a child with $20 in a candy store. It is such a thrill for any collector to attend a show that is completely dedicated to the items they collect. If you are a casino gaming collector, start planning to attend the show in Bellflower, California, or the Casino Chip and Gaming Tokens Collectors Club Convention and Show in Las Vegas, Nevada. The entire spectrum of casino collectibles is offered at both shows, with thousands of chips and checks, tokens, dice, ashtrays, cards, matchbooks, postcards, glassware, etc. The following interviews were done live and on the spot at the March 21st, 1992 show in Bellflower, California. These people are some of the pioneers of the chip and check collecting world. If you haven't met them before and wondered what that person or persons you have written to, bought from, sold to, and traded with over the years looks like, here's your chance to find out. This is Ralph Strandwald. He is a major clay chip collector with a strong respect for history and detail. It must run in the family because his father, Carl Strandwald, was also a collector of chips and checks and playing cards. He started collecting chips and checks in 1925.
Okay, Steve.
What's your name?
My name is Ralph Strandwald still.
What's your favorite chip in the whole world? Do you have a favorite single chip?
I haven't found it yet.
You haven't found it yet, huh?
They're all my favorites.
Say goodbye, Steve. And then there's Craig Hers.
Well,
How are you?
Fine.
Do you have a favorite chip?
No, I collect casino carpeting.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's a great collection.
Yeah.
A large collection?
Not yet.
Not yet. This is Howard Hers. This man is dedicated to the history of these gaming artifacts. He has authored detailed articles on collecting. He is the editor of Harvey J. Fuller's Index of Nevada Gambling Establishments. In the 1960s, he took on the job of curator for the chip and check collection of Harvey's Resort Hotel and Casino in Lake Tahoe, Nevada. He is also the author of A Collector's Guide to American-Style Gaming Chips and Checks.
oh, it's going great.
Really? Do you have a favorite chip?
Do I have a favorite chip? Probably Dopey Norman's.
Oh, Dopey Norman's. Cool.
Yeah, Dopey Norman's. Norman's.
Okay, that's a good one. I understand you're going to have an auction coming up.
You bet. Dopey Norman's in it.
Good deal. Be looking forward to it.
Commercial. See you later. Great commercial.
This is Armin Fender. He is a longtime collector dealer who has a vast knowledge of the old and new. He always has information for the novice and high-end collector. So do you have a favorite chip?
$100 El Rancho.
$100 El Rancho is your favorite chip.
Last design.
Good deal. Many of them known?
29 of them so far.
29 so far. I will take breaks from the interviews to answer a few questions. Where do you find chips and checks? How do you start collecting? One fun way to start is by visiting a gaming resort area. Casinos, clubs, and card rooms are very popular. There's a lot of places to visit. The largest area by far is the state of Nevada. There's Las Vegas, Reno, Laughlin, Lake Tahoe, and many more areas scattered across the state. You have Atlantic City, Deadwood, South Dakota, Indian reservations, New Orleans, riverboats, and many states have legal card rooms. When you are 21 years old or older, you can buy chips right off a gaming table. Some casinos let you buy chips at their cashier. Either way, you don't have to gamble with them. Just pick out the ones you like and cash in the rest. When you enhance your collection in this way, you always remember what they cost, when and where they were used, and they serve as a reminder of your visit to that location. Now, let's go back to some more interviews. This is Tegan Pasalakwa, the T in TDS Antique Gambling Chips. He was an active chip collector at 6 years old.
I'll give it to LAPD. Nail this. Welcome to Southern California, Steve.
Good.
Glad you brought those million claim chips down here so I could go through them for my collection.
Do you have a favorite chip in your collection that you wouldn't part with under any circumstances?
No.
No.
Well, if the price is right, it goes.
What's your most expensive chip?
I paid $40 for a clay chip.
For a clay chip, what was on it?
It's a litho inlay of a
$25 gold piece.
biplane. Came out of the Rose Room of some casino.
My name is Stan Wilker, and I love Steve.
Quite an ivory collector, I understand.
Yes. And we also get into Old West items, antique coin-operated machines, antique advertising.
I see you have a Chuck Luck cage next to you.
Yes, it's a Mason, New Jersey.
What kind of price do you have on that?
I got $3.95.
Do you have a favorite chip?
Yeah, my favorite chip is a $5 chip with little scallops around it.
And that's an ivory chip?
It's an ivory, right.
How long have you been collecting ivory chips?
About 15, 20 years.
Very nice. And now meet C.T. Rogers. He carries something for everybody. One of the biggest inventories of old and new chips. His prices have always been very reasonable. He has donated many hours of his time to be the advertising manager for the Casino Chip and Gaming Tokens Collectors Club. One of the biggest casino dealers in the world.
I lost weight.
Here we have Bruce Landau. He has volunteered hundreds of hours to the advancement of this hobby. He was the first treasurer of the Casino Chip and Gaming Tokens Collectors Club. Also, auction chairman of the first live auction held by the club at the Aladdin Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. busily looking over many casino chips. Do you have a favorite casino chip?
I love all my chips. Everyone's a favorite.
Everyone, huh?
Everyone.
I'm going to get real personal here now. What's the most you've ever paid for a casino chip?
The only reason I'm not going to say that is my wife might see this.
Oh, okay, good. That's a good.
If I ever admitted it, I'd be in a lot
That's
of
an
trouble.
excellent reason.
She thinks my entire collection I've invested about $62.40.
Oh.
So, why should I make her think otherwise?
Right, you're doing real well then. You do have a favorite chip?
I don't think I really have a favorite chip. I think that, we were talking about that before. I think any chip that you don't have, you want. There's some pretty ones, but I don't really have a favorite. It makes no difference to me.
Are all your chips for sale?
As long as I have a second one of them, anything is for sale.
If you only have one, it's not for sale?
Unless you offer me a lot of money. I haven't ever sold one out of my collection, so we'll see. So far, I haven't. I feel like I'm a celebrity.
You are a celebrity.
But anyway,
You're the treasurer.
this is a lot of fun. It's like a kid in a candy store. Now, right now, I'm looking for his style, all the stuff, trying to...
Who's this next to you?
That's Walter Adam, originally from New York.
Originally from New York, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Do you have a favorite chip?
I like the Sequon $5 chip.
What's the approximate value of that chip?
It's a current chip.
Oh, it's a current chip. Is it a Chipco chip?
No, it's like a hologram in the center.
Oh, yes. I've heard about those, but haven't seen them.
Where's that from? San Diego County.
When any novice enters into a new field or subject, there is always a few pitfalls. The feeling you overpaid for an item, bought or traded for something you thought was something else, picked up an item you thought was rare, only to find out it's considered common? Well, no one has been excluded from the Novice Club. Education and common sense are keys to happy collecting. The best form of education is to join the Casino Chip and Gaming Tokens Collectors Club. This club is dedicated to you, the collector. With your membership, you receive this quarterly newsletter called Casino Chip and Token News. This newsletter is jam-packed with all sorts of information. Updates on current chips and checks with stories and facts on vintage ones. You do remember how important education is for collecting, don't you? The classified ads in the newsletter is a terrific source of education. There are many different ads. You will see collectors and dealers who buy, trade, and sell. In one volume of the newsletter, the same chip was offered by 3 different dealers at 3 different prices. It pays to shop around. Send for lists of anyone who offers them and check the prices from list to list. Here's how to get in touch with the club. Ernie Wielden is another dedicated collector who is very concerned with history. His collecting roots were formed while collecting old clay and ivory chips. He is also 1/3 author of The Gaming Table, a chip and token collector's guide, and The Chip Rack, a price guide for chips and checks.
Thank you. I had your chips and you have a feather up your tail. Anthony tickled me.
Ernie, do you have a favorite chip?
Yes, I have. Right here.
Oh, this is your favorite chip.
This is your favorite today.
This is today's favorite chip.
Oh, yes, I see
You
that.
see it? You got a good close-up of it?
Yes, I do have a
Shaking
good...
as I have it here?
Excellent. That is an amazing chip.
Yes, it is.
Do you have an approximate value on that chip?
$2,000, I think, is what I paid for this. No, I didn't pay that. It's just a tough chip.
Wilbur Clark.
That's a tough one.
That's the kind of material.
Yeah. Any information you get me.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
And your name was? Oh, yeah,
So, how long have you you been collecting chips?
Too long.
Too long. I understand you put a book out.
Yes. Let me,
Is that it in the background? Oh, can I zoom in on that?
This is the book. Here's, it's a real bargain. $14.95, $15 here.
Excellent.
It is a nice book.
How long did it take you to compile all that information?
It took Dr. Myers, Mr. Knapp, myself, over 2 years to compile this information and bring it to press.
Excellent.
We did this with the cooperation of many people, including Steve, the guy's the last name that nobody can pronounce, so we won't even try to mention his name.
All right, how you doing?
I'm just doing great. I'm manning the store.
You are, and what's your name?
My name is Arlene Roseblack.
Great.
I'm a chipper's wife.
Oh, you are? You're not a chipper yourself?
Well, I guess so. I guess I'm catching the disease. It's a lot of fun. I love these shows.
Do you have a favorite chip?
Not really.
Not really.
No, I just like them all.
You like them all?
Yeah, I like the new Chipcos. I think they're real pretty to look at. But I also like the real old ones.
You do? From any particular area?
Mostly Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. That was my last interview from the show in Bellflower, California. There were many more present, and I'm sorry I didn't get the chance to interview everyone. A special thanks to Jim Munding for always hosting a terrific show. And now, let's go to the line outside the opening of the first ever convention and show for the Casino Chip and Gaming Tokens Collectors Club. This show is also jam-packed with the pioneers of the chip and check collecting world.
Howdy, I'm Chuck Fowler. I'm first in line here this morning. Looking forward to a great show. Can't wait for it though.
Oh, and there's Travis Lewin. How long have you been waiting for the show?
About 20 years.
Oh, 20 years. How come you're not first in line, Travis?
I was winning money at the slots.
Oh, that's a good reason.
How's my hair?
Officially open. Welcome to Las Vegas.
And who is this?
Alan Myers, hello, Stephen.
Where do you live?
I live in Louisville, Kentucky. And you don't have to ask me because you know where I live.
Well, everybody else doesn't know where you
You
live.
just want me to speak for your camera.
Where are you at right now?
I don't know.
This is Dr. Alan Myers. As with most of the early chip collectors that I know, Alan's roots go back to vintage clay chips and museum quality ivory chips from the 1800s. He has spent hundreds of hours doing chip research. He is also one-third author of The Gaming Table, the Chip and Token Collector's Guide, and one-third author of The Chip Rack, a price guide for chips and checks. Are you ready to go home, or do you?
We're in Nevada.
Are you ready to go home, or do you want to stay?
No, we're not leaving until Sunday afternoon. And I'm really enjoying this. I'm finally getting to meet a lot of people that I've never met in person. And it really is a thrill. Both of us, Diane and myself, are really having a ball. I've really enjoyed meeting your beautiful wife, Kathy and yourself, I'm sorry that your sons aren't here. We'll meet them next time. And we're just having a great time.
All right.
Really having a ball.
See you next year.
Excellent show.
Excellent show. You going to come back next year if they have it?
With my heels on.
With your heels on. Ready to go.
Absolutely.
Come with Delaware Boy Club too?
Yeah, there's a pair of them.
We're looking for something fantastic. Most things in here are fantastic.
You probably have 3 of everything in that case.
Almost. 25 and 5.
Who do we have here? What's your name?
I don't know.
You don't know. You going to come back next year if they have it next year?
Probably. Are you?
Of course. I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Is that right?
The best show I've ever been to. Nice display cases.
Thank you.
This is Dale Seymour, the granddaddy of them all. In my opinion, he is the #1 king of the chip collecting pile. He has done thousands of hours, not hundreds, but thousands of hours on chip research. He bonded early chip collectors that had no sense of direction with his 285-page book, Antique Gambling Chips. He has given early chip collectors the first ever reference manual to start organized chip collecting. Dale has dedicated a large portion of his life to the advancement of gaming chip collecting. Well, what do you think of the show, Dale?
It's been a good show.
Good show?
Really good show.
If they have it next year, are you going to come back?
Sure, I'll be here. Not as a dealer though, just as a spectator.
Just as a spectator.
I don't get out to the tables enough to gamble.
Oh!
Tied down too much.
So you're getting out of chips altogether?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not till you make me an offer I can't.
Oh, I don't think I could make an offer big enough to please you. What are you looking for right now? Anything or just something?
Well, in particular,
Yes, are you looking
always
for
looking for ivories.
ivory chips?
I don't think there are any new ones here.
Do you consider that your specialty?
Yeah, ivory and the old clay designs that I don't have. There's still 5 or 6 designs that no one's found to my knowledge.
But you know of.
Right.
Right.
One of them's got a railroad train on it. There are a few others that have been in catalogs that no one's seen.
And you'd be thrilled to death to find those.
I might even pay you $5 for them.
Okay. Thank you, Dale Seymour. Doing and viewing this video was and is a big thrill for me. With collectors all over the world, some of us will never meet. We now have visual memories of some of the people we deal with, write to, and talk with on the phone. To me, it's the people in this hobby that make it great. And now, I would like to highlight a few chip molds. A house mold, $1 Sands. The term house mold means that the casino name or logo is displayed on the rim of the chip. See how the word Sands has been recessed into the rim of the chip? This Desert Inn chip with a coin inlay is also a house mold because it has their stylized Joshua Tree logo placed around the rim. Sometimes the house mold is a little harder to see with busy graphics or edge inserts. One of the most recognizable molds is the Paulson hat and cane. This one happens to be an early one with shiny hats. The early hat and cane process made the hats more shiny than the ones today. The shiny hats have been nicknamed Christian Jones for the partners at that time. The hat and cane now has many variations. When collecting chips for the mold design, this mold with an alternating arrow and die is highly sought after. The name for this mold is arrow die. The horseshoe mold has a repetition of 16 horseshoes alternating inward and outward. 16 squares inside 16 circles make this mold called square and circle. When you have 2 squares and 1 rectangle repeated 8 times, you have the square, square, rectangle mold. With a little imagination, you can see 12 small crowns around this rim. There are 2 Greek key molds. This is the large key mold. The small key is about 1/2 the size, or an 1/8 inch wide. 26 alternating T's in an up and down direction is an easy one to name, the T mold. A zigzag line pattern around the rim in this chip makes this a zigzag mold. One of the least used chip molds is this rope-looking design, called the cord. Another easy one to see is this Nevada mold. These last 2 chips have no markings on the rim, so by design they are called plain mold. With a printed flush inlay, they have the added nickname Crest and Seal. This is only a small sample of mold designs, but new ones are appearing all the time. And where are you from and what's your name?
My name is Diane Myers.
And
I'm
where-
from Louisville, Kentucky, and I just lost the Derby.
Oh, you did? Was the Derby running today?
Was the Derby?
I guess everybody from Louisville knows about the Derby, don't they?
Absolutely. This has been so much fun.
And you've given up the Derby to come to this Casino Collectible show?
Absolutely. If I didn't, I wouldn't have met you.
Would you come again next year?
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it for the world. It's been great.
Good.
Getting all these wonderful names that I've heard for so long, but these wonderful faces. It's been really great.
Well, good. Hope to see you next year. And here we have Michael Knapp. Michael Knapp has done everything possible to promote this hobby. He has researched chips for hour after hour, day after day. He is committed to educating the collector. He has authored many articles on chips, also 1/3 author of both the gaming table and the chip rack. As a club officer, he is the corresponding secretary. Michael is also the author of the information booth in the club newsletter. And what's he doing here? He's with Gene Grossblatt, trying to work out some kind of private deal. What are you working on?
We're trying to figure out whether we've managed to, how much more we've managed to buy than we've sold. I've had a great time, but it's cost me a lot of money.
What's your evaluation of the show?
I think it's terrific. I've really been surprised.
Terrific. 3 syllables.
3 syllables. Thank you, Bruce.
Do you think you'd participate again?
I don't know. I think it's quitting the club, actually. I don't know. These people are getting to me. No, I mean, when you think that we sold 200 rooms and didn't think that, Archie didn't even think we'd sell our 75 minimum. With all the tables here and the 47 dealers tables, I think it's been a terrific show. Certainly the largest casino collectibles show ever.
On the face of the earth, right?
On the face of the earth.
I do agree with you. Great show, and I know you did a lot of work on it.
My pleasure.
You were responsible for pushing all those room sales up, I'm sure.
Tried.
Okay, hope to see you next year.
Likewise.
Now this is the group right here.
This is the co-conspirators.
This is the table where all the heavy-duty action came down. Right now we're in the process of a major deal.
What is the story on the Flash?
It's supposed to be some entertainment club or something,
Ernie, would you like to do this show again next year?
Yes, sir. This has been an excellent show, and I didn't make any money. I spent a great deal of money, but I've had a lot of fun.
Well, isn't that what we're here for, is to add to our collections?
And lose money and add to our collections.
Sure.
We have done all of the above. Hi, I'm Dick Bitterman. I live here in Las Vegas. I'm more of a collector than I am a dealer, but this weekend I'm a dealer, I guess. And this is my wife, Joan, to my left, and I couldn't get along without her.
Great minds the table while you're out looking around, right?
You got it.
Are you buying more than you're selling?
Every time.
I think that's the situation with the majority of the dealers. You've found a lot of things you've been looking for?
Yeah, some good things. I really have. I'm going home pleased.
Do you think you'd do the show again next year?
I will 100% do the show again next year if it's in Las Vegas.
Terrific. I'm for the Las Vegas location myself.
Good, good.
Anything to say?
We really want to congratulate the officers and others who did such a heck of a good job of putting on this affair. I have some compassion for the amount of work that they must have gone through, and they have my heartfelt appreciation.
I agree with you 100%.
Great.
Bye-bye. When you talk about major chip dealers, Dean Richmond and Jody Soames should be at the top of your list. They know chips and checks inside out. To them, it's a way of life. They have one of the largest stocks of chips from the common to the hard to find. Their helpful knowledge is unsurpassed. What do you think of the show?
Marvelous show.
Marvelous.
Great success.
The biggest show you think involved with casino collectibles?
It's the biggest little show in Las Vegas.
That sounds like a Reno term to me. Is that where you're from? Where are you from? Oh, Reno. Also one of the biggest dealers. Has just about anything you could possibly want.
You only see the regular ones. Look in the back of the racks.
Go down about 3 in the morning.
And this is Janice O'Neill, club historian and vice president, giving valuable information to any new person who wants any information whatsoever about the club. You can't begin to count the hours she has put into the club and the casino chip and token news. She does the chips and tokens update and handles all of the promotional items that the Casino Chip and Gaming Tokens Collectors Club has for sale. Do you think you would be interested in participating again next year?
Of course.
Of course.
It's been a great show.
How many new members?
30 or better?
Lots of people come through the door. Did anybody do a head count of people coming through the
I
door?
hope so. I haven't been able to get out there to find out.
Okay. Thanks for all the hard work, Janice. There's C.T. Rogers sitting right there.
That's live?
What a selection of chips. As I said at the Bellflower Show, one of the biggest casino collectible dealers around, and CT said he lost a little weight lately. What do you think? Same size?
Who are you showing this to?
Oh yes. You're a star.
No problem.
You have a cult following.
I don't believe that.
Yes, you do. Where are you located at this time?
Where am I located?
Yes, where are you right now, this instant?
I am at the one and only first annual chip convention, Casino Chip and Token Convention, and I'm having a good time, and Bruce and I are enjoying it tremendously.
Who's supposed to be in this vacant chair over here?
I am babysitting for the table and doing a fine job, I must say. I didn't make $3 up until this point.
Great.
Are you proud of me?
Yes.
So, what can I say? It's good.
Do you think...
I'm tired from clothes shopping. I'm shopping and chipping, and it's just a wonderful experience.
Does Bruce know you've been shopping?
Yes, I tried to spend as much as he made during the show.
He made money? He didn't buy more chips than he sold?
Well, he just made, yeah, at least he told me he made money.
Well...
He's in trouble if he didn't, because then I spent all his money. And he's not the show for it. No, I've been a good girl.
Are you going to come next year?
I hope to come next year, yes. I love the people, and I love the atmosphere, and it's really great.
Are you shy around the camera?
No, I'm not good, sir.
No, I don't think so. Okay. Hope to see you next year.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. See you at the auction.
Okay. From Las Vegas. What do you think of the show? Do you think it's everything you expected or more? And more. Do you think this is going to be an annual event?
No doubt about it.
No doubt at all. Have you booked a table for next year?
Haven't had the opportunity.
But you're more than likely to do so? All right. See you next year. Happy to give valuable information to any type of collector whatsoever.
That's it.
Stan, how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, Steve.
Has this show been up to all your expectations?
Well, all except for meeting you.
Do you think you'd come again next year?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Fun show, isn't it?
It is. Tell your sons that they missed a lot of fun.
I will. They're going to try and book it for next year.
Okay, great.
See you later.
Okay.
Doug Saito is one of the most well-known chip dealers. He has the necessary skills and a dedication to gaming history that allows him to produce the highly educational chip collecting publication he calls Chip Chat. With well over 1,000 articles about chips and Chip Chat, Doug has what some collectors call Doug Dust. With his vast gaming knowledge and research, all he has to do is sprinkle a little Doug Dust on any chip he writes about in Chip Chat, and the gaming legends come to life.
I'll be back.
For sale.
You want to buy a slot?
Do you have that, Walter, for sale?
Yes, I do. Steve.
This is the one and only Walter Derzolitis. To my knowledge, he has been in more global casinos than any chip collector on the planet Earth. He is a very strong historian on Nevada casinos and chips. The largest selection of global chips is always found at Walter's table. Do you have it set up so it can be played?
Yes, I do.
Is that plus shipping?
That's correct, plus shipping.
Or are you going to deliver it personally?
I'll help you carry it down the stairs in my condo, that's it.
And that's about it?
That's about it. It comes with the
These little
stand.
shopping baskets you get when you go to the grocery store, they shrink them into that, and that makes up the, that goes over to you, and they dump it out, and you have racks, and that's what those chips do. It's called flash thing. If you ever get down, it's kind of fun to play. Played for a little while. I didn't like one of them down in Delaware, but I was down in Florida in February, so I made it around.
And here's John Rosie. How do you like the show, John?
It's great.
Great?
A lot of chips. Chips for everybody.
Do you think chips are kind of like the new thing where collectors are really getting serious about them?
Oh, I think so. They're inexpensive and a lot of them out there.
Do you have a favorite place that you collect chips from?
Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe is a great
Pre-1960.
Pre-1960
Like
Lake
Dopey
Tahoe.
Normans, you know what those are?
Oh, Dopey Normans. Okay, John, hope to see you next year.
See you later.
Bye. Hi.
Hi, I'm Ken Fish from Denver, Colorado. My wife Sarah. That's right. You mean that's right. You mean anything you want? You got it. That's from Colorado. We have it.
I also went by the Chip of the Year. Is this a Chip of the Year plaque?
Yes, it is. We're going to take it back to Mulliville's Casino and present it to the owner when we get back to Colorado. That was decided upon by the membership.
Through a vote. Thank you very much. Hope to see you next year.
All right. Bye.
This is Phil Jensen. He is one of the early chip collectors to dedicate a large part of his life to casino history and chip collecting. He is a contributor to many early articles and publications on casinos and gaming history. Phil would often travel to any place in Nevada just to add a few chips to his collection. He put over 200,000 miles on a brand new 1969 Chevy pickup, visiting casinos for their history and chip collecting. And this is Henry Garrett from North Hollywood? California.
Hi, folks.
Did you come to Las Vegas just for the show?
Yes, I did.
What do you think? Worth doing next year?
I'll come back next year. Everybody meet in the same place, same time. Let's do it again.
Do you specialize in any sort of chip or token? Any specific area?
Caribbean, Nevada, California.
What do you have a favorite chip? What's your most favorite chip?
Oh, there's too many.
Too many. You don't have one single favorite chip?
No, wouldn't want to make the other ones turn out to be second place. Too many favorites.
And who do we have here?
I'm Abram Eskin from Colorado, and I specialize in Colorado collecting and boat sales.
Has there been a lot of interest in that today or over the last 2 days?
Absolutely. Just a ton of interest in Colorado.
And naturally, you're both club members?
Yes.
And what do you think about the club?
The club is, I'm very grateful to these people for putting everything together. We have had a lot of fun, and I've met a lot of people that are doing exactly what I've been doing for several years, and we had a lot of fun. And if it weren't for the club, they wouldn't have brought us all together, and I think they may have even started a new hobby.
I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much. Hope to see you next year.
I'll be.
All right. Bye-bye.
We're Dottie and Dewey Reed from Campbell, California.
Hi.
We collect tokens.
Tokens. Did you come to Las Vegas just for the show?
Yes.
And what was your expectations?
This is bigger than my expectations.
Bigger than your expectations. Do you think if this turns into an annual event, you'd come back again?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite token? Out of all the tokens you've seen and collect, is there one that sticks out in your mind as your favorite?
Sure.
What is it?
1971 Caesar's Palace 50-cent token, Wellington Smith.
And do you have one of those in your collection?
Yes. It's extremely rare.
Extremely rare. All right, hope to see you next year.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, Chuck Demarcio from Atlantic City, here with my partner.
Michael Rometta from Atlantic City with the Casino Chip and Token Bank.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah, we might as well zoom in on that one.
And I understand you're the new treasurer?
I am the new treasurer, and they didn't waste any time. I'm inundated with taking monies in, and now I'm also giving monies back. We overcharged in one area, and we're having a ball.
How do you think the show turned out?
This is for a first-time show in any collectibles. This is the most phenomenal I've ever that you could imagine. It's really a beautiful setup, beautiful turnout, beautiful show.
Are the wheels turning to make this an annual event?
I think it's a given. I think it's a lock.
And definitely you'd both be here again, wouldn't you?
I will definitely be here next year and every year after, as long as it's held in Nevada. And I might say that this club has a lot of room to grow. The future for collectibles and casino memorabilia is just scratching the surface.
I agree. agree with you. We're all still pilgrims.
That's it. And it's going to get better, we promise.
Thank you. Bye-bye. There's a big conversation going on right here.
Aren't they pretty? Very things are from France. I thought they were Puerto Rico. But who am I? I think they're a little green. Where are they from?
I think they're one of those favorite things. Full bucks, you know.
And here we have James.
Yeah, Billy.
What do you think of the show?
Super. Great. I wish we had another one tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
No, actually, about the next month. I need a little
You need a month to recuperate.
Yeah, to go home and restock my boxes of chips there.
James Campilia has been a major contributor to the advancement of quality chip collecting. His knowledge of casino history is highly detailed. James co-authored with Steve Wells the official U.S. Casino Chip Price Guide. Many gaming locations are listed: Nevada, Colorado, Deadwood, Atlantic City, and even the 6 riverboat states.
All the friends of mine that I've been dealing with through the mail for the last 5 years have been super.
Do you have a favorite chip?
Bugsy Siegel chips.
Do you have one in your collection?
I think I have one of the best collections of the Bugsy chips, yeah. I got the 5 and the 25 without a hole and the different molds and everything. Yeah, I think I have pretty close to, but I need the $100 one, so if anybody's got the $100 with the flamingo birds, I need that one.
C. James, huh?
C. James.
And do you think you'll come back next year?
I'll have to, I live here.
Do you think you'll do the show?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
I'll do all the shows, this and any show they have.
And this is Mark B. Weiser?
That's me.
Like Johnny B. Good?
It'll work.
And where are you from?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. So this is a hometown event for you.
Right. And we'll return. If the convention comes back here, I'll set up again.
So what do you think about the show?
I think it's a great show. Everybody that put the time and effort into getting it ready has done a pretty good job.
So what type of collectible do you collect, or is it a little bit of anything that's gaming orientated?
I collect Vegas area. Match numbers, postcards, casino chips and tokens, the keychains. I've got over 5,000, about 5,300 Vegas area postcards. The earliest one going back to 1903.
Do you have a favorite casino that you prefer the collectibles from?
At this point, no, because going after all the older stuff, trying to keep it in a good perspective, everything's about equal for me.
All right, hope to see you next year.
I hope to be here.
Oh, and here's Kenny Craig. This is Mr. Ivory Chip Collector right here.
Let's zoom in on these ivories here.
Oh, let's see what we got here.
This goes with the Justice piece. This was the
Oh.
this is the elusive Quattro that went with the Justice piece.
I don't think so. I think you're telling a little story there.
Now this went with the Blue Eagle that Dale Seymour found. This is a complimentary piece that went with that. Very few people know these facts, but I'm here to share them only with you, Steve.
That's right.
This is a Willen Fig Rose. Some people call this a fleur-de-lis, but they're horribly mistaken.
Wasn't that used on their daggers quite often?
Only in medieval times. Turn it off.
And here we have Mr. Dice. Yeah. Bo, what's your last name?
Macha.
Okay, and your specialty is casino dice.
Southern Nevada.
All in Nevada, or do you?
Well, I got them all over the world, but I really like Southern Nevada the best.
Southern Nevada.
Like these. It's a New Pioneer Club on them. Instead of just the Pioneer Club, which you find, you never see them that say New Pioneer Club.
So do you have a favorite pair of dice that?
I have a couple favorite singles. I have a single from the 91 Club that was on the strip in the late 30s, and I have a single from the Northern Club. It was downtown Las Vegas.
If you could only keep one pair of dice or one die and had to get rid of your entire collection, what die would you keep or dice?
I'd keep the 91 Club and get rid of everything else.
I understand you gave up another convention to come here.
2 other conventions.
That you'd already booked?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Paid $1,000 admission fee to go.
And you gave it up just to come to the Casino Collectible?
I want to be here with the real people.
All right. Hope to see you next year. Bye-bye. And who do we have here?
Robert Eisenstadt Chip Man.
Where are you located?
In Brooklyn, New York.
And what's your specialty?
Old antiques, old women and old chips. Antique clay poker chips, and then antique ivory chips, and finally casino chips. And lastly, Chipco chips.
Is that Bob Eisenstadt from New York? The Bob?
I think it is.
One and only.
Well, do you think it was worth the distance to travel for this show?
Yes, I sold quite a lot of ivory chips.
Do you think that you would return next year if this is an annual event?
Only if I have an inventory to sell of ivory chips or gambling antiques.
I heard that you had storage rooms full of chips.
Well, clay chips, but not ivory chips.
So how's the interest been in clay chips at this show?
Oh, sort of slow. Slow. But I didn't expect it to be anything else. I came here mainly to sell the ivories and also to meet the people I've been trading with and selling with. People on the left coast, as they say.
On the left coast?
Yes.
All right, hope to see you next year.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hasta la vista.
So my name is Paul Cunningham. I'm very tired right now. I want to fold up and go home.
You want to go home? Where is home?
Let's see, Michigan, yes.
So you traveled quite a ways to do this show.
Yeah, my arms are tired from flying.
Do you think it was worth the distance to come for this show?
Well, you know, if you come into a show like this, the distance doesn't matter much. I would prefer to drive too far from here.
Do you think if this is an annual event that you would come again?
Yes, probably.
Probably. Not too sure?
Probably 90% sure, yes.
And what's your specialty? Do you have a specialty that you deal in?
My specialty is tokens and metals, mostly metal tokens, but obviously in the casino area, mostly chips.
Mostly chips. All right, hope to see you next year. Bye. Now, I had a lengthy interview with your wife earlier on this tape.
They say you look heavier on videotape, so this must be deceiving. I actually weigh 139.
139.
And I've never lied, Archie, right?
Not to me.
You know what your wife was telling me earlier?
What was that?
Was that she's done quite a bit of shopping while she's been here in Las Vegas.
I've walked out of here with much. This has been a costly proposition. I think I've moved a lot of stuff, but I don't have any money or any chips. I don't know what it is.
Well, don't tell her that. She thinks that
I
you were
haven't gambled either.
making enough money to pay for her shopping.
She's wrong.
Oh.
25 years. Wait till I get home. Hi.
What do you think of the show?
I think all the credit goes to Archie for doing something outstanding. This is an event that we can't ever copy because it's the first annual. But I think next year we'll take a few wrinkles out of it and we'll just make it better and better. You got Archie, you got Janice and Jerry, you got Michael, you got the whole group of people. It's fantastic. And I know, Steve, I can speak for you. I mean, wouldn't have missed it for the world. It's fantastic.
Great. So total support in the years to come, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, see you next year.
You got it.
Bye. This is Archie Black, president of the club and editor of the newsletter. In my opinion, he is Mr. Chips, the captain of the chip collecting rocket. In the mid-1980s, he was the Atlantic City correspondent for Almo's magazine, Casino and Gaming Chips. It was a wonderful start, but very small and struggling. It ended in October 1987. In January of 1988, Archie's own effort was mailed out, Volume 1, Number 1, the Atlantic City Chip and Token Newsletter. From that beginning, we now have a club with well over 1,000 paid members and a newsletter that has reached over 70 pages. In my early years of chip collecting, it was very hard to find another collector. Everyone thought they were the only one. Archie and the club officers have made it possible for chip collectors to unite, educate themselves, and enjoy every aspect of the chip collecting hobby. Oh, and here's the president of the club. Oh, look at that wad there. Oh, holy smokes.
I just split everything with the treasures.
Sure. Have you had a chance to buy any chips?
No, I've been busy hitting jackpots out on the floor.
Oh, well, you know,
and paid ones.
You might as well get the money.
That's right, Steve. That's right.
Steve Paslock with TDS Antique Gambling Chips, and I've enjoyed this show immensely. This is one of the finest casino chip collecting shows I've ever been to in my life. I don't think there's been a bigger one in the world. And I hope if you didn't make it this time, you get out here next year. Well, it's exceeded everyone's expectations. You can't miss it. Thanks. Bye. This must be the best part of the show, isn't it?
This is actually the part that we enjoy most, packing up, hauling the stuff out in the hot sunshine.
The part I like this is when the Brinks truck rolls in to take the money.
Take the money? I thought you spent the money today with all the new finds you bought for your stock for the upcoming show next year.
We only spent half of it.
Okay.
We're taking more home than we brought.
Well, at least you have a nice inventory for next year.
And there you have it, the end of a wonderful two-day show and convention at the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. But wait, there's more to come. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat in the first ever live auction hosted by the Casino Chip and Gaming Tokens Collectors Club. It was a night to remember.
What we tried to do is we're a club. We're all friends. We're not going to have any fights at any auctions. I've seen it. It's unbelievable. Let's very quickly go over the quote-unquote rules. I forget something, yes, but we want to try to finish the rules in 5 minutes. It really is pretty simple.
Okay, as Bruce has told you, the lots will go to the highest bidder. We have just a few lots that has reserves on. The reserve means that that's the minimum it will take. We have very few of those. As he also said, you can leave anytime you want to, but I've been to a lot of these type of things, collector things, and it seems like if people leave, the good buys come up later on, so I'd recommend that you stay. If you want to get up, go get a cocktail or a beer, please feel free to do so, because believe me, the more you drink, the better I'm going to sound. Okay, if no one else has any questions, we'll start with lot number 1. Lot number 1 is a Love and Lee's chip from Las Vegas. It's red. It's a $1 chip.
$14.
Looks like it's in good shape. Okay, bid it at $14, now $15. $14, now $15, $15, $15, $14, now $15. $14, now bid it by, you want $21? Sold it to you, sir. $20. Your number, $20, now $25. You're $25? 22 and a half, now 25. 25, now 27 and a half. You want 27 and a half? You want 27 and a half, sir? 30. You want 30? I made 27 and a half, now $30. Bid it by, you want $30, now $30, now $4 back? Sold it to you, $27.50. Your number, I think that's probably a good buy. $20, now $25. $25, sir, you want 25? 25 here, 25, now 30. You want 30, now 35. $35, 35, 35. I'm bid 30 back in, 35, now 40. You're out, sir. 35, way in the back. I need $40. Anybody want to bid 40? I need to start 40, now 45. You're out, sir. 45? I bid 40 right down here. I got 40 right down here. I got 45. Bid by. You want 45? Sold it to you, sir. 41, 41, 41, 40. You really want 140? I bid 130, now 140. 135? All through all down at 130? You bought it, sir. Lot number 85. $130 your number. Next will be number 194. Buffalo Mingo, Bugsy's Hotel. Has a little hole in it. It's a brown and yellow $5 little hole at the top. Not hardly noticeable, but a lovely piece. $6. Really nice. Okay, do I have any mail order on this? 6. I don't believe we'll take that, sir. Who wants to give $100 bill? Go ahead. I'm 100 here, 100 and a quarter. You want 100 and a quarter? 100 and a quarter? Thank you, man. Now 100 and a half. I made 100 and a quarter right here, 100 and a half, now 175. 175, now 2. Now $200, now bid by, you want 2. You're out. 175, 185, 190. 190 in the back. You want 195? 195, now 200, now 205. You want 205, sir? 205, now 210. 210, sir, it's your turn. 210s and 15, 220. You want 220 in the back? 220. Say down 305. 305, 305, all they're all done? Don't say no, you don't need it. $300. A very, very nice piece.
I must say, first of all, on behalf of everyone, thank you very much. I want you to say, this fellow here, Jim Cruz, the club member, has done a job that's beyond description. And I'd like you all to give a round of applause. And it's always very unnoticed.
Okay, new take. We're starting all over. And tell me what you thought about this weekend after it's long. Are you still awake?
The show sucked.
It did, huh?
Oh, wipe that out.
You looked a little ragged.
I am a little ragged.
How come?
My hiney's close to the ground here. Thank you. It was a wonderful weekend. Exceeded my expectations.
Okay, are we over? Is this the end of the weekend?
Weekend is done. See you all in '94.